Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for how to navigate life's ups and downs. Do you feel overwhelmed? Or do you feel successful? Experiencing loss? This weekly 15-minute word of inspiration will motivate you to live with more wisdom and peace. Here is your host, Pastor Mercy Oduah.
Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for handling your life challenges. Seasons of life are regular occurrences, the good and the not so good. My short inspiration aspires to educate and empower you with spiritual support and guide as you go through the ups and downs of life. I am sharing from my seasons of life experiences, hoping they will benefit you as you go through the challenging times of life. Last episode, we discussed about the sorrow of money, the sorrow that comes with money. Today, episode 32, we'll examine the joy of money. Yes, the joy of money. If you missed the last topic, which is the sorrow of money, you could go back and listen to them. If you are joining for the first time, welcome. Please kindly subscribe and share this video with your contacts. Money is critical because it helps us to achieve our life goals and things that are necessary in life, such as family, education, healthcare, charity, adventure, and fun. So money is important. Without money, our economy will not exist. Money is like fire. It is only good when there is just the right amount and when it is properly contained and under our control. I repeat, money is like fire. It is good just when we have the right amount and when it is properly contained and under our control. God, the source of our financial wealth, according to Deuteronomy 8:18, wants us to enjoy money. He wants us to experience the joy of money, but according to his standard. Every blessing that God gave us is for our enjoyment and also for the enjoyment of people around us. I tell you, we are stewards of God's blessing. We are stewards of God's gift. What is a steward? A steward is a manager. Therefore, you are the manager of God's money, not the owner. God is the source of our financial wealth, according to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. You are going to hear me repeat this chapter, Deuteronomy 8, chapter 18, because it is very important. And what does it say? It says that we should remember the Lord God who has given us the ability to make money. So whatever you have, wisdom, ability, talent, God is the one that has given you the ability to make money. So we have to remember it. Because when you remember the source of your wealth, abuse is unlikely. Take for example, if you are in a relationship and your friend, your husband, your significant other gives you a gift, you will cherish that gift and you will not misuse it. So God has given us so many blessings, especially the financial wealth. Therefore, we must not abuse it because his intention is for us to enjoy his blessings, including money. However, to enjoy God's money, we have to think about others. We have to think about others because everything is tied together. We are in relationships in one way or the other, starting from family relationships, societal relationship, and we make acquaintances. We are connected. Therefore, our destinies somehow are tied together. So when God blesses you with money, there is somebody else that will be a beneficiary of that money. However, the fact is that human beings, we don't think in that perspective. We don't have that mindset to think outside of ourselves. No. We are self-absorbed, self-focused, and self-idolizing beings. Only God is selfless. So to have the joy of money, we must adopt God's character and see money from God's perspective. I have 5 ways for you to enjoy your wealth according to God's character. And the first way is to remember the source of your wealth. Yes, I keep pointing on that. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 tells you to remember the source of your wealth. You did not create that wealth. God is the source of that wealth. He has given you the ability, the power, the wisdom, the talent to make money. So you must remember God as the source of your wealth, because when you do, abuse of that money is unlikely. Your heart will seek to honor God with that money by using that money the way that will please Him. You will know what God has trusted in your hands, that God has trusted money in your hand to be a good steward of that money. And you will not take that privilege for granted. It is a privilege to have money. As you allow your wealth to become a basis of joy to others and not only to yourself, you experience the joy of financial wealth according to God's standard. Yes. So the second way now to have the joy of money is to know that your money is tied to someone's answer. That wealth that God has given you is tied to somebody's destiny. It is somebody's answer as well. You see, the biblical view of wealth is different from the worldly view of wealth. God will use your wealth to satisfy the need of others. And He blessed you just for that purpose, not only for your purpose, to meet the need of your family, of your community, of your society as much as you can. So when you remember God as the source of your wealth, you will not hesitate when God places a demand on your money. Yes, we can see this play in the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 36 to 42, tells the story of a woman known as Dorcas, a rich and wealthy woman who discovered the purpose of her money by making clothes for the widows in that town. She was known for making clothes for the widows. So her financial wealth brought joy to the widows in her community at that time. So we have seen 2 ways now that money can be a source of joy. First, you must remember the source of your money. Secondly, you must know that your money is tied to someone's destiny. Your money is an answer to someone's prayer. Now let's go to the third way that you can enjoy the joy of money. And that is when you allow your money to become a seed. Yes, the joy of money comes when your money becomes a seed of righteousness in your hand. The Bible in the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 12, talks about seed time and harvest time. Yes, as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed and harvest time, planting time and reaping time. And that was what this woman experienced. Dorcas experienced that benefit. When Dorcas was sick to the point of death, actually, she died. She suddenly died in the city of Joppa. The poor people, the widows, their hearts were broken because she was their keeper. She was their helper. They were benefiting from her wealth. And all of a sudden, Dorcas got sick and died. And they were mourning. They were sorrowful. They were not happy. They needed a miracle. But she was dead. But then they heard that Peter the apostle was in their neighboring city. And they quickly asked Peter to come to Dorcas. They begged Peter to come, that this woman died and she must not die because she was our helper. Fortunately, Peter came to the situation. And when Peter came to Joppa, he saw women wailing and crying and heartbroken. And they were showing Peter the clothing that Dorcas used to make for them as widows. Peter's heart was moved. And what happened? Because of the woman's action, the seed that she was sowing in the lives of those widows, Peter prayed for her and restored her back to life. Yes, you can go to the book of Acts chapter 9 verses 36 to 42 and read the story. It is very interesting. So the biggest takeaway in this story is that Dorcas recognized God as the source of her financial wealth. She allowed God to use her money to help the widows. And when her health and her money failed her when she died, guess what? The seed that she sowed was able to speak for her. The seed that she sowed with her money saved her life. So she experienced the joy of money. Number four ways you can allow money to be a source of joy to you is when you invest in the lives of young people and in the community where you live. Yes, joy comes to us when we invest, especially in the lives of young people, because they are the future. And then in the community that you live. This requires sacrificial giving. God will not demand from us what he has not given us. God will not demand from you what he has not given you. And I tell you, God is all-knowing, and we cannot hide our wealth. We cannot hide our money from him. We can hide it from the society. We can hide our money from our families or from our friends, but we cannot hide our money from God. After all, our redemption story is that God gave his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, as a sacrifice for the world's sins. Yes, Jesus brought joy and hope through his sacrifice. So we ask ourselves, you ask yourself, How have you been redeeming people's life through your wealth? How have you been redeeming people's life through your wealth? Because God redeemed us through the sacrifice of his only begotten Son. So with the blessings that he has blessed us, he expects us to touch lives. So how have you been redeeming life with your money? You see, we often complain about young people's behavior in the society without knowing their stories. Some young people embrace the life of crime because of hardship, even though there may be a wealthy relative in that family. You see, according to God's standard, you must invest in the lives of others for your money to bring you joy. In the third world countries, there are wealthy people, but sometimes the community struggles with basic infrastructural needs such as roads, schools, and health centers. The rich people in that community could not do anything. They turned their ears away from the needs of the community. They do not have the mindset of sacrificing part of their money to assist with the community so that the joy of the community will be full and their joy will be full as well. The fifth ways to benefit from your money is developing a heart of compassion. Developing a heart of compassion. You see, God is a master planner. God is full of wisdom. As God blesses us with his wealth, he equally puts compassion, sensitivity in our heart so that we can feel the need in the life of other people. But you know what? What we do is to block our sensitivity. We block our compassionate feeling towards others so that we will not give them money. That is not good. God puts that sensitivity in you to share your wealth. Do not shut it off. I know that the much that God gave me, when he wants to use me to bless somebody, the first thing that God will do is to begin to make me to feel an overwhelming emotion, compassion to that situation. And as soon as I extend my hand to that situation, then joy will come to me. So God has put joy in your heart, and as well as sensitivity in your heart, so that when you see a needy person, you extend your hands of compassion by giving. God expects others around you to enjoy from your fountain of wealth. Yes, he does that. And Jesus showed us this example when he was preaching in a very desert area and it was night time. The people were tired, they needed to go back. But Jesus did not want to send them back without food. And then where they were, there was no place to buy food. What did Jesus do? Compassion made him to feed the people. The apostles said, "Oh, let them go. It is night. Let them go to the city and find food." But Jesus said, "No, it is late. There is nowhere to find food." He needed a miracle, and he gave them a miracle. He found in the crowd a boy with 2 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And he made these people up to 5,000. He made them to sit down. He blessed the little 2 pieces of fish and 2 loaves of bread, he blessed it, multiplied it, and fed the 5,000. What is the principle of this story? The principle is that we have to use what we have to bless others. Whatever wealth that God has given you, it is not only for yourself, but it is for the blessings of other people. And if you do that, you will enjoy the inner joy of money. So as I close, we have seen the ways that money can bring you joy by going beyond yourself in spending it. Because when you focus only on yourself, what you have is temporal happiness. But joy comes when you go beyond yourself, when you recognize God as the source of that money, then when you allow your money to be a blessing to somebody, when you invest in the community and in the lives of young people, and then when you allow compassion to flow out of you, money becomes a source of joy to you. Meditate on the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, that says that you must remember the Lord your God, who has given you the power to make wealth. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you. And may the Lord enlarge your heart so that you can extend your financial wealth to people around you. Shalom, and see you next week.
Thank you for watching this episode of Seasons of Life. Until next time, be well, and may God bless you.